Welcome to Clever Conversations. This is a chance for us to meet indie artists, authors, creators of all kinds, and we hope you enjoy this ride with us. Let's get into the show. Hey everybody, welcome to Clever Conversations. I am the Clever Biatch, also known as Bree, and I'm joined today by Jacob Wentworth. He is a 3D sculptor. Am I right with that, Jacob?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Jacob, and welcome to the show.
Well, yeah, I'm Jacob, as you introduced. I'm an artist. I originally started off doing illustrations at like a young age, and I always really enjoy doing monsters, characters, really either really funny things that were goofy or really spooky or creepy, or both. And just did that throughout the years. And it wasn't until recently I decided to go to school to take it to the next level, where I learned 3D, and I'd never done 3D before. So the school, it was completely new, doing 3D, going from illustration to 3D. I even had to buy a computer for the school. That's how much I didn't do computer stuff. And then,
Wow.
the school taught me everything I needed to know. And I just figured if I liked making characters and doing designs, that 3D sculpting was like the route that I would go.
That's so cool. So you mentioned some stuff, some inspiring things. I've seen some of the things that you've done, and I want to show that in just a minute here, but I have a feeling, was the movie It? Is that the movie It that I saw a little, I could see a little of that in some of the things that you were designing. So I was like, it felt like that might have made a big impact on you. And they put the remakes out recently, or the newer ones. So we've got a lot to look at these days.
Well, what's interesting is I never watched the old one. Really, I just saw bits and pieces of it, and I only watched the remakes when they came out in theaters. Um, I would say like my main inspirations or impacts from movies, because my mom had no filter. She was in the Navy and she was always busy. So when she wanted to watch a movie and it was rated R, we watched a movie with her. But I watched Alien,
Love it.
The Thing, and really just like your old 90s and 80s horror movies. And I think those two, the Alien and the Thing, were huge inspirations that ended up shaping a lot of my beginning work. But then I've seen things after that also were big inspirations.
Yeah. I think Alien was okay. I have to ask the question: Is it Alien or Aliens? I know they did one of each of them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Is Alien the one with Sigourney in the beginning? Is that like the first?
Well, it's the sequel to the first one.
Okay.
But they both have Sigourney. But Alien is just literally the singular alien, and then Aliens was directed by James Cameron, where it was a lot more action inspired. But I saw the first one where it was more tense and like the atmosphere was more scary.
Yeah, I'm not a scary. I don't mind some scary movies. Like I was a big Friday the 13th. Freddy Krueger, I thought was like the perfect bad guy, scary, like super creepy looking, and he was funny, right?
Yeah.
I actually could get into that character. I enjoyed seeing him on screen. And there's so many of them that they don't even talk. Mostly they're just coming after you. They just want to kill you, right? And you're just like running and screaming, and that's all you see. But I liked him because he made me laugh, and he was he was the perfect like scary guy for me in the movies. The ones that I really couldn't watch for me personally growing up were anything that could possibly happen at any point in time in my life. Right. So
Jaws.
I can't do Saw because that's a thing that could happen.
Yeah.
And so that kind of that gruesomeness, it I couldn't really delve into that. Like I was like, nope, this is not for me. My kids all love the scary stuff. They love I don't think there's a scary movie they won't see. And I read a book when I was younger. I read Amityville Horror, and I never
Ooh,
saw the movie, but the book scared the crap out of me. It's a scary one. That one was
yeah.
that really like that did it for me. It was like, wow, like this is like super, super creepy. And I felt like it like that could be happening. I don't know. I just kind of, it was too scary. I couldn't do it. What is like the ultimate, like if they said to you, okay, we're going to make a remake of this movie and we want you to do all of the people, like we want you to create, like recreate, change something over, what would be like the movie character that you'd want to redo?
Yeah, that's tough because um, a big one, like the reason why I like The Thing, I don't know if you've seen it. The Thing is awesome because none of it has to really make sense, but it kind of does. So you can put body parts wherever you want, but like I feel like I would do that, but I don't know. Sometimes I just think like it's the first one they made a remake and it didn't hit the spot as well because the first one is just so good. Their monster, like the designs were just like they were perfectly weird and scary all at the same time, and recognizable is the biggest one. But I think that's one I would like to give a shot. um there's another one that I was thinking of, man, that I think that I could do really well. I mean, here's the thing. There's a lot of I have all of these ideas, and there's a lot of movies that I keep saying, if I could redirect that, I would make it. I would make a good version, like Lord of the Flies, the old book.
Mm-hmm.
We read that like 30 times in school because my mom was Navy, so I moved from school to school, and it felt like every English class I was in made us read The Lord of the Flies. So I'm like, oh, here we go again. And the more I read it, though, the more I thought, or now that I'm older, I think that is prime grounds for a really good horror movie. But like in the midsummer hereditary way, where it's like subtle, there's no monsters, but it's like the looming darkness. And I think weirdly enough, I don't know. Yeah, my monster designs wouldn't be there, but at the same time, that's one I like. I feel like I could turn into a horror movie as Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that. I think it's that fear where you don't know. It seems like when you can see what it is,
Mm-hmm.
it isn't quite as scary.
Yeah.
I have one that never seemed to live up to what I the book that I read, right? So I grew up, I was a huge Tolkien fan. So I read The Hobbit first for school. It was like 7th grade. I fell in love with it. I'm like, I need more, give me more. And so I jumped into Lord of the Rings and I was reading that. And so when the movies came out, I was so thrilled. I'm like, oh, this is going to be incredible. They're going to have, I'm going to see these orcs. I'm going to see all of these things, all of these
Mhm.
creatures in the, that I've been picturing in my mind. And there's one that completely let me down. And I don't know why, but I just expected, I guess I expected more from it. And it's actually, it's actually in The Hobbit, and it's when Gandalf is, I think it's, no, maybe it's in Lord of the Rings. Boy, I can't remember this these days. But it's the Balrog.
Yeah.
So disappointing. I wanted to see something like truly like this is something that's lived for centuries upon centuries, right? It's just it's of the fire and the earth, and
Yeah.
it just didn't, they didn't bring it to life for me. I
Yeah.
didn't do it for me.
For some reason, like I love the designs in those movies, but
Mhm.
the Balrog felt almost a tad not cartoonish, but like he kind of had like a Halloween face. Like, yeah, he didn't feel like a monster.
Yeah.
He felt, yeah, it's. like maybe if they made a video game of the Lord of the Rings, that felt like a design. But yeah, I think the Balrog was definitely the one where I thought, I wasn't too impressed with its design. I would agree on that one.
He didn't have a lot of screen time. I know he had more screen time actually in the like series that they just came out with last year.
Oh yeah,
He was in that, and it kind of gave you a little bit more of like the story of how he became, or just you got more of him, but still not giving me that. I wanted, I don't know what I wanted. I wanted to see maybe some kind of, not fire like a dragon, but like molten things coming out of him a little bit, because
yeah,
he, you know what I mean? Something that was just so, because he faced Gandalf, and it was such a, it was supposed to be this incredible battle between them, that I felt like there should have been something more. Like the book just described him so well to me, and then what I actually saw on screen, and there wasn't a lot of things I could say bad about the movies, but that
hmm,
part in particular, I was just like, oh, like
yeah,
really, that's it. So yeah, I would have you do that one for me. That's what I would choose, because I'd like to see something that would really, like, you could sink your teeth into, that was like really kind of powerful on screen. Because I think it, when it wasn't as powerful, it lessened Gandalf's power, right? You want to see him
yeah,
battle something, and you want to see him go from Gandalf the Gray to Gandalf the White. And it, when the Balrog was less than I expected, it diminished Gandalf's fierce, like his
yeah,
power and veracity. Because when he battled Saruman, he was like just in their battle of like wits kind of a thing. He seemed quite big, and then also so broken at the end of it, but then had that like, I can still escape this. So I got that intensity there, but I didn't get it in in the Balrog scene. I don't know. I could
yeah,
go on and on about, I love that stuff so much. Thank you for indulging me on that
yeah,
just
yeah.
a little bit. I definitely want to share what you do so that people can get an idea. I want to make sure I have sound on. Oh, it's already starting on my end, and I got to back it up because I wanted to full screen it. So let me get this full screen, and I am going to, if you are listening to this, I apologize if you don't get to see this, but that means you have to head over to the YouTube channel and check it out. Let me see if I've got the right screen. Please let me know if I have this. It's saying I don't. Oh, here we go. Right here. All right. Share audio. Oh, here we go. All right. Now we can
Oh,
get it. And you can tell us what we're looking at here too.
yeah. This is a little alien character I made that's a doctor. I already have like a whole show planned out for him, but essentially he's a doctor who thinks he's an alien. He thinks this is what sexy is. This is like a junkyard like monster, like made out of random parts. It's like a hunter, but it's based on the chimera, like the mythological creature. It's just like an abstract version of it. This is from a video game series called Guilty Gear. This character is actually based off The Ring with the girl in the well, and he's possessed by her. And I just really like that story, so I decided to sculpt him.
Wow. And this is the process of making him, huh?
Yeah, it's just some of the some of the process. And this is a very thing-inspired creature. It's essentially a body made out of worms.
Wow.
So that's not really a torso. It's just a giant cyst that's being shaped to look human beings, so these worms can try to look human.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me share that. That's intense. Those are incredible. So I'm gonna send people to jacobwentworth.com if you want to check those out again and see more of them. Um, oh, it's gonna start playing on my own, so I can hear things in the background. Wow, that was loud in my ear. I was like not expecting that. I got to push all the buttons myself tonight, so it's a lot of fun in the studio when I'm having to be in control of everything. But we appreciate your patience.
Yeah, yeah, it's no problem.
So you've done a lot of different things. We talked a little bit before we started recording today. We talked a little bit of tattoos. What if you were making tattoos? What would you call your style? I love tattoos, so I gotta ask.
Man, that's so tough. So it's kind of like I never liked like realism or even traditional tattoos. I actually tried to apprentice as a tattoo. I was in the Air Force, and when I got out, I was 22, and I wanted to apprentice for tattoos. And I was living in Las Vegas. That's where I'm from, and they all, even though my portfolio was massive, and they said it was impressive, but it's not tattoo style. Like it's not what we're looking for. And I get it because it wasn't. That's my style. It can be, yeah. It didn't really match. So the only people that got my tattoos, they liked my style. So there were more people that came to me. But I would say it's kind of like that alien. It's a mixture of that alien and maybe the worm guy. Like I've done tattoos that were kind of cartoonish like style, but with like a little horror twist on them. Yeah, it's hard to explain. I just yeah,
I get it.
almost like graffiti styled cartoonism,
Oh
surreal.
wow.
Yeah,
That's cool, and the thing with tattoos too is like things come and go, like over, they change over the years and people's styles kind of change to different things. I mean, back in the day, everybody was getting a barbed wire ring around their arm,
yeah.
and now it's like, I don't think tattoo artists will even do that to people anymore. But unless you were like really asking them for it, but things change. I mean, I've seen the styles change. Kelly Doty is one of my favorite artists, which is interesting because I don't necessarily go towards the horror. And I've said this already tonight,
Yeah,
but do you know who Kelly Doty is?
I do not.
She was on Ink Master and she lives in Salem, Massachusetts. And her style is, I guess I don't know how to put it, like ghoulish beauties, perhaps. So she takes these, they have this ghoulish, but just they're so pretty, but they're still scary. And it's they're really cool. I love her designs. I would love to get a tattoo by her. Like, of all the people that I could get tattooed by, like, she's one that I would want to definitely seek out and get one by, because her styles are so unique.
All
And
right.
so, are you
I
looking her up?
so here's what's interesting is I'm also inspired by when in high school my teacher showed me this artist that became one of my biggest influences. Now you should look him up because her style reminds me a lot of his, and I wonder if she knows who he is. His name
Probably.
is Greg Simkins, Simkins, and
Okay.
this looks like almost like his work. And a lot of my work is, like the style. We have a lot of the same things, like large foreheads, kind of round, both sharp and round edges. It's really hard to explain, but I see a lot of my style in hers and hers in mine. And I wonder if we just like the same artist.
Yeah,
Wow.
possibly. I think I'm going to share my screen again because I got to show everybody this really cool so that people know what we're talking about. So this is one of her styles. So it's a little creepy, but it's also very pretty. She's got a really cool style to her that I really like. Yeah. So I mean, if this was like, maybe it wasn't fashionable a few years back, but Kelly's booked all the time. She's hard to get into. So
You know what's
people are
funny?
rocking her stuff.
Sorry, you earlier you asked me what my style of tattoo is. It's pretty much hers. Like the
There
tattoos
you
I've
go.
designed look almost like hers. It's kind of
See?
crazy. I did a rabid rabbit, and
Ooh.
if you'd put it next to her art, it would be very close. So that's yeah.
People
I'm
are
really
getting them like crazy. She's very popular and very busy. So
yeah.
her work is pretty incredible. And so yeah, so she's like probably one of my favorite. There's a Nordic man that lives over in Ireland that I love what he does. And I have a lot of tattoos in that Nordic style, but she's one of the few where I want to get like something of that nature. Like, for her, I would get it. She could put it on my back, which is the best piece of real estate you have as as a
Hmm.
person getting tattooed. But I would love for her, like a back piece from her would be insane. Something that's just big like this. That's I love her. I love that design. So yeah, I'd probably love all of the tattoos. Maybe you'll have to design it for me because I really love that. I love this effect and how it's beauty. It's like ugly beauty, if that makes sense. It's this
Yeah.
not what not the normal beauty, but it shows the flaws and the imperfections of, the not so perfect. I mean, she's holding an axe in the one picture that I'm looking at. So, you know what I mean?
Um,
There's that creepy look to it as well as just being super cool.
have you had a chance to look at my Instagram?
I haven't been to your Instagram. No, I have
Yeah.
been. I need to probably do that. Let's bring it up. I can
Yeah.
do that.
You'll immediately see kind of like a similar like style thing. Like the
Okay.
like yeah, on here are just more of my art, like my 2D art works, and yeah, I definitely feel like my strengths are still with 2D.
Nice. So what are you going to be working? I'm going to pull that up, but while I'm doing that, what are you working on right now? What has got you really moving on things that you've been? I know we showed your incredible demo reel, but
Yeah.
what else have you got going on?
So, I mean, I am working with the studio Unfocused. I'm not allowed to discuss what we're working on, but
That's
it's
okay.
my first, you know, job with 3D, so I'm working on characters for them, so that's exciting. But personally, I am working on a graphic novel that,
Ooh,
and I mean, I am in it. Like I have been working on it every day for hours. I'm already done with the rough draft of the first volume, which is 120 pages. I even have over a thousand panels, like rough draft. So and yeah, it's got a lot of my style in it. It's like medieval setting. It's kind of like a Dark Souls esque, but like a little more adventurous. And like you said with Balrog and Gandalf, sometimes the villain needs to be like, more intimidating to really show off the strengths of the protagonist. And that's kind of what I have going on is I have just a regular sized man going up against these huge, gruesome monsters and beasts. And I mean, the ultimate villain is like 60 feet tall, and he's got to take this thing down. So that's what I'm working on. And I mean, hopefully I can get the first volume published by the end of next year. It's going to take a little
wow.
bit, but I really want to put like, effort into it, detail. I think I'm going to self-publish. I've looked into it. It's just kind of, it's kind of easier and you get to maintain control. And there are some brutal moments in this and some, surprisingly the language isn't bad, but the scenes can be very brutal. And I don't want to go to a publisher and have them censor all of that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. There is that, like, you want the control.
Yeah.
And self-publishing has really, like, stepped up its game with the
Mhm.
ability to do a lot of things through, Amazon and their platform where they
Yeah.
will do a lot of stuff. A friend of mine just self-published, it's called Podcastonomics, and her name is Christine Blosdale, and she's actually close to hitting number 1 on the bestseller list because of it, and that's huge, and that's just her, self-publishing. But it's, that there's a lot more options I think that we have today than we
Yeah.
didn't have in the past where, we had to buy, because I've looked at publishing and actually just like getting print copies of things, and it doesn't make a lot of sense as a like a an un not an unpublished, but like an unsigned author when you're doing
Mhm.
your own self-publishing. It doesn't make, because you have to buy like 10,000 of them, and I
Yeah.
don't even know where I'd put that many books in my house, to be honest. Nor do I want to have to ship 10,000 books. I want a company that does all that. But
Yeah.
then your profit goes way down on what you actually make. And so I think there's a lot to be said for allowing someone like Amazon where you're actually still making a pretty decent amount of money on the book,
Mhm.
and they'll print on you're not locking yourself into, say, a whole bunch of copies, a certain amount that
Yeah.
way.
And I
So,
mean, I'm not like a big name person, and I'm not like an experienced author. I mean, I have like faith in my ability to make this story. I think it's going to be a great story. So, I'm gonna, I've done a lot of my research. I think I'm gonna start off digital. I'm gonna start off cheap too. I'm not trying to. It's not about the money. I really just want to share this story. But that's where I'm gonna start. Definitely is digital at first. And I mean, if it takes, if it gains a decent following, I can always make some hard copies and sell them at random stores maybe. And
oh,
but
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
it's nice to have some, it's nice to have that. Like you want to have, like, you want to hold a book in your hand.
yeah,
There's that feeling. I watched Jada Pinkett, like she opened her book, and I watched what Picard, what is his name? From Star Trek. He
Patrick
just
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart just came out with his very first book ever, and the feeling, seeing the people, that feeling of holding that something that is so personal to you in your
Hmm.
hands, that's like, it makes it a real thing. I don't
Yeah,
know, it's so cool that I would love to, like, that's got to be the experience. You definitely want to have that experience,
yeah.
and do book signings and that kind of stuff, but you also don't want to break the bank in the process, right?
Mhm.
You want to make a little money at it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Like I mean, I myself have many art books. I have a couple graphic novels, but like the art books, I know I can go Google image all those pages. It wouldn't be hard, but I like having them. I like being able to just open it up, look through, get my face all close, and not worried about a blurred JPEG image.
yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this is more of a passion project. I mean, like I said, if it were to ever gain a little bit of a following, that'd be cool. I would just be happy to have fans. Money, yeah, it's not that important to me. I mean, I have
Yeah.
student loans, but
Yeah,
yeah,
getting some, like, just like, I don't need a Ferrari. I would just like bills paid, and that comfortable feeling of I'm going to be okay. I don't have to, like, plan too much about
yeah,
what that, yeah. I have very simple things. Now we know that, like, the Powerball right now. I don't know if you've got Powerball stuff going on in there, but
yeah,
everyone's talking about, it's like over $1 billion now. And everyone talks. I would be happy with the lowest amount of the Powerball, which is like, I think it's like the lowest is 50 million now.
I'd be happy if I found a 20 in the street right
I
now.
know, right? Exactly. But I always say, like, the thing that I want, if I win the lottery, there's two things I want no matter what. It'll be like some of the first two things that I get. I want fresh cut flowers in my house delivered every week from, like, a farmer or someone that does it from, like, a nature garden or something. I love That's like a luxury item to me. So, and I love the beauty of having fresh cut flowers. So that's the first thing I want. And then the second thing is, I never ever want to wear the same pair of socks twice. I don't want to have to match them when I wash them. And I love that fresh new pair of socks feeling on my feet. And
You should
so
uh, you
that's
should
it.
you should just create a company that delivers socks to your house and they take your old ones.
Yeah.
But then people ask you, oh, I like that idea. How do I sign up? They're like, it's only for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
my
there's just something about it. I don't know. That's like this. That'd be like the most frivolous way to spend money. Like, I could just take all the socks, wash them, and send them somewhere, and or have that company that it doesn't exist pick them up and donate them or whatever. But I just don't want to. I can't, after having four kids of my own and having to match socks. I hate it. I hate. It's
hmm.
like the worst. One of the worst jobs in my house. And so that would be like the treat to myself on what I would do. I finally got your Instagram to come up because I don't know. I Once again, technical problems. It's a picnic, as they say, a person in the chair, not in the computer.
Yeah,
Um, so I love this. You have this one that you made, and I'll share my screen once again. And like I'm saying, if you're over listening on this on Captivate, you're going to have to just follow over and click the links. But you have this one right here that I love, and I would totally get tattooed. This is cool.
yeah, yeah.
Tell me the inspiration on this one.
You know what? And that's the problem is some of these, like when I was working at some retail jobs, that's just it. I would just start drawing at work and it was all improvised. And I'm just like, I'm going to start drawing an eye. Now I'm going to draw lips. And then next thing you know, this happens. And like, and so in like this one and some of the other ones, they're, since I went to a digital art school, I learned how to use like Photoshop and like do digital art. And I was retouching up a lot of my old drawings. So this used to just be black and white. And I was able to like, just color it and do effects. There's even a two frogs that you'd see on there. One of them is on a post-it note.
Oh, okay. I did. I think I saw that one. I have to wait.
Yeah,
Yeah, here we go.
yeah, that's on a post-it note, and then I remastered it, and I thought that came out pretty cool. So it's kind of fun using the best of both worlds. That's also on a post-it note.
Wow, this one's really cool.
Yeah, and you could just see that there's no meaning. It's just kind of random. I was just drawing it just to draw it.
Some I love the intensity of the colors too, like the purple and the gums and the red lips. And is there writing on the lips or is that just markings?
Oh no, it's just it's just. But that's the thing with some of my drawings. If you go back to the frog, there are secrets in some of my drawings.
I love some good Easter eggs. I love some hidden meanings in things.
So one of them, the spot on the lower back is pointing to its butt.
Yep, see that?
And there's the F word somewhere on him, and I don't remember where.
Oh man, all right.
I did this when I was 18, so sorry for the edginess. That was over 10 years ago. But yeah, I put the F word hidden in his spots, but that's what I mean. Some of my drawings do have like hidden secrets and Easter eggs.
All right, I'm going to be looking for that for a long time. So if anyone is, when you guys are listening to this and you see this, go to Jacob's Instagram, take a picture of this with your camera phone, with your phone, and then circle the F word on here so you can show me and tag me in it, and I'll respond because I really want to see. Don't tell us where it is because I want them to go find it because that's super cool. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, what's crazy is I haven't gone on here in a while, but if you go lower, it just gets more obscure because the younger I was, the more wild I was with my art. And you'll even see a couple you'll see a tattoo picture as you go down.
Okay, I'm looking. We're scrolling. Yeah. Wow, this is a portrait?
Oh yeah, I drew that in pen. I like drawing in pen mostly. Wow. I don't know why, but yeah, that was in pen, and I think the finished version is somewhere on here.
That's incredible.
No, but it's somewhere else. But yeah.
That is so well done. That's insane. I love that. Because it's just, that's the way I don't have any portraits tattooed on me. I have like 50 tattoos and none of them are portraits. Because that's one of the things I get so scared of is getting a portrait. But that one is magnificent. That was so good. Yeah, these are incredible drawings. This one's super cool. Where it's just like, all right, I see you. I love it.
Yeah, I was at work and there was a Gorilla Glue advertisement at my job. I was drawing the gorilla.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh, it's so well done. I love it. We're already so long in time and I feel terrible. I'm like, wait, I need more. Where should people find you? Where do you what's your favorite social media to reach out to you or talk to you or connect with you for something?
So I've just gotten so busy lately, but I would say the best places to reach me would be I would say my Instagram for now, just because I haven't established my art station well enough. LinkedIn's an option, I guess, but that's more for professional things. But I don't update my Instagram a lot, mainly because I haven't really been doing artwork as much as I'm doing bigger projects. So I will be posting to that. But if people want to get a hold of me, I would say that's a pretty good way to get,
That's awesome. Yeah. Are you going to update us when you can talk about things? When you have, when there's things that are completed that you can share put it on Instagram. Let us see what you're up to and where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to my boss and on the work side, but for the graphic novel, you know, uh, yeah, when I get to a point where like I think I got my copyright stuff down just in case, I mean, the first thing on my Instagram is one of the characters. Like the first, like the last thing I posted is one of the characters. So I mean, I might post a character here and there as I'm working, but yeah, yeah, just Instagram would probably be the best way.
Perfect. I can't thank you enough. We could talk for a lot longer. I know
Yeah,
we could, and we're already running late. I love all that you're doing. I want to follow you up and see where you're at. We'll come back and check in with you if that's okay with you.
yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
awesome. And thank you for being here. It's been
yeah.
amazing. I really appreciate it.
I always have a million more things to say. Yeah, so if you
That's so
ever
good.
want to do this again, I'm totally down.
Excellent. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Please go check out all that Jacob is doing. All the links are going to be in the show notes, and we will see you next time on Clever Conversations. Bye for now. Thanks for joining us today. I'm so glad you spent some time with us, and I hope you'll come back again next time for more Clever Conversations. Like and subscribe. We love it. We'll see you next time.